Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store for all sorts of products. They have dice, miniatures, game master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. Now, today I wanted to talk about how to roleplay using a yes or no oracle in solo, cooperative, or GM-less tabletop role-playing games. For this, I am going to be using my solo adventuring toolkit, the Flextail Solo Adventuring Toolkit. This is my favorite um, solo RPG book. It is tied in terms of usability with the Game Master Emulator Second Edition, the Mythic Game Master Emulator. But I would say that the Mythic Game Master Emulator has a slight advantage when it comes to beginners. If you're just getting into solo tabletop RPGs, I would recommend getting the Mythic Game Master Emulator Second Edition, but with a caveat that I will discuss right now. So, for those of you that do not know, in solo tabletop RPGs, and this was started with Mythic Game Master Emulator First Edition, you have this oracle table of yes or no result. In the case of the solo adventuring toolkit, you have outcomes such as yes, but, yes, and, maybe, or no, but, no, and, no. And how do you use this? A lot of you solo players already know how to employ these oracles. And it's funny because it came out of a non roleplay practice on the part of the author of the Mythic Game Master emulator, Tana. Now, Tana never really, as I understand it, until this very day, up to this very day, Tana has never roleplayed in tabletop RPGs. Tana plays the game as a yes or no conversation game. There is this floating game master that doesn't exist in the fiction, but for some reason is there to answer questions. And game master, is there something behind the door? Game master, does the castle have a flag at the very top? Game master, is there a box in the storage room? Is there a box? How many boxes? So from those practices, Tana came up with the idea of an oracle for solo to generate solo content, right? So normally you are playing your solo game and you move through the forest. Do I find a structure while moving through the forest? You make your roll and maybe you obtain the result of maybe. May and so maybe that's very ambiguous, right? Is the structure a building? And you roll and no. Is the structure a natural formation? You make a roll and no, but. So you think it's a monolith. Somebody took a stone or a bunch of stones and they created a monolith. And that's how you start to obtain things about the solo adventure, right? But isn't it super lame? Because you're not role playing at all. You're asking questions to someone that doesn't exist. So this is the way to role play, to actually role play, because this is a tabletop role playing game. You're supposed to be role playing, otherwise it's something else. Instead of asking questions to no one in particular, role play. I move through the forest, looking around for structures. And then you make your roll, deciding that if there is a structure, it's a positive result, a yes. If there is no structure, no structure. It's a negative result. And no, you make your roll and yes, wow, there is a structure. I take a closer look at the structure in the distance and try to ascertain if it's a house or similar structure. Make your roll. Yes, and so that immediately makes you think there is no one but two structures. Now in the distance, the adventurer can clearly see two houses in the middle of the forest. Now I approach carefully, step by step, while unsheathing my sword, and pay attention to the texture and general appearance of the structures, looking for the materials, be it wood or stone. Now you consider stone as the no, you consider wood as the yes. You make your roll and you start to you see. But did you feel the magic? I was just imagining that moving through the forest, looking around, approaching the structures, not having a conversation with a game master that doesn't exist. The game master doesn't exist in the fiction. Going back to the original Dave Arneson roleplay idea, the father of roleplay in tabletop role-playing games. It's all about experiencing the game world. You're not having a conversation with the game master. You're not telling a story either. You are interacting with the game world. You're not telling a story about what is going to happen. You take actions, and there is a reaction, there is an effect. So, whenever you use your yes or no oracles, roleplay, whatever oracle, no matter the oracle, but in this particular case, roleplay and take the positive or negative result as the ever unfolding sequence of events. So, I hope this video was informative and entertaining. Thank you for watching this video. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button, like, subscribe. Take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you and see you later.